activities. I'm going to check them. Any questions about the recuperación, or did you have any doubts, anything?
And the grades of the last activity are already public?
No, if you don't have it there, is that I haven't checked it. Any questions about the recuperación?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, well, today we're going to continue with Unit 10. We're going to finish Unit 10 this week because we are going to cover 2 units in this partial. So for the last partial, we have only 1 unit because you will have a special project with one project that you have in this quarter. It's going to be like a proyecto transversal. So I need to check with one of your teachers where you are doing a project. So for the final evaluation, you can present one part of that project in English. Okay, but I have to check first with teacher Mario and the coordinator and the specific teachers that have this project. Okay, but keep it in mind because it's kind of a, I know it can be like some of extra work, but it's something that the coordination is asking us to do. Okay. Well, let's please open your books on page. This is the page I'm going to share with you. Okay. Page 94. Okay. Are you there?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Well, first check the pictures and say what is the connection between the photos. What do you think?
Mm,
Any ideas?
Art.
They are artists, okay. What else?
person with different
And
condition.
They are woman.
I am not sure about the B, but the women of A and C have discapacities.
A disability. Okay, maybe. Well, let's read. Please volunteer for the three texts. Okay, the first, Ruben, the second, Patricio, and the third, Alexis Rafael. Okay, start.
Victoria Modesta, pop singer dancer. Victoria was born in February 1987 in Latvia, a small country in Eastern Europe. Her birth was complicated and because of a doctor mistake, her leg and hip were permanently damaged. The doctors told Victoria's mother, Slovenia, to put her daughter in a children's home because of her leg. Victoria's life would have been very different if Slovenia had done that, but she didn't. She refused.
Very good. Only the name is Svetlana. Okay. Um,
What is the pronunciation? Latvian, Latvian.
Svetlana.
Svetlana. Ah, okay.
Because you said Slovenia. I don't know what you got that.
Svetlana. Ah, okay.
Svetlana. But very good pronunciation for the rest of the article. Number 2, please.
Thank you. Adrian Heslett Davis, ballroom dancer. On April 15, 2013, Adrian and her husband Adam were watching the Boston Marathon near the finish line when two bombs exploded. Three people were killed and hundreds were injured, including Adrian and Adam. Adrian lost a part of her foot in the explosion, but Adam's quick thinking saved her life. He used his belt and tied it around her leg. If her if if he hadn't done that, she would probably have died.
Very good. Thank you. And the last.
Okay. Philip Martin Nielsen, ballet dancer. He says that ballet saved his life. If his mother hadn't enrolled him in ballet class when he was 6, he would never have been able to overcome his autism. Ballet unlocked him and helped him to speak to people, touch them, and make a contact with them, all the things he had never been able to do before.
Very good. Only remember that when the noun ends in s and it's plural, you have to pronounce is. For example, classes.
Okay, teacher, classes, no class. Okay.
Because it's plural. Okay, very good. So, were your guesses correct? What they have in common is that they were able to succeed despite the difficulties, no? They all have to overcome difficulties to achieve their goals. Okay, so let's complete these sentences. Remember that this is the third conditional. You study this with the material I sent. So check the text in your books and complete the sentences, please. I'm going to give you 3 minutes and then I'm going to ask some of you. Fatima, do you want to participate?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, please.
The one?
Number 1.
Okay. Victoria's life would have been very different if Esperana had put his daughter in a shelter home. Her, her daughter in a shelter home.
Very good. Number 2, who wants to participate? Kevin?
Me, teacher. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The number 2 is Philip would never have been able to overcome his autism if his mother hadn't enrolled him in ballet class.
Okay, very good. And number 3, who hasn't participated? Edwin, please.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Hello?
I can't hear you, Edwin. Please speak louder.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. Yeah. Adrienne will probably have died if her husband hadn't used his belt and tied it around her leg.
Okay, very good. Okay, exactly. That is the structure of third condition. Mhm. Any questions? No?
No question.
Okay. Let's discuss these questions. Why did the doctors tell Victoria's mother to put her in a children's home?
Because in his birth, the doctor is made a mistake and damaged her leg and his hips, I think.
Uh-huh. So she wasn't going to be a normal child, right?
Yes,
So maybe that is why they told Victoria's mother that, because I mean it's very hard not to raise a child with a disability.
uh, yes.
Okay. Number 2, what do you imagine life was like for Victoria when she was little? Anybody? Now I'm going to give you 3 minutes to think about the answers for the rest of the questions, and then I'm going to choose some students. Okay, let's hear your answers. Abner number 2. What is the answer? Israel number 3. And we need one more. Jose Luis book number 4. Okay, number 2. What do you imagine life was like for Victoria when she was little?
Thank you, teacher. Can you listen? You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. I think the life the was life before Victoria when she was a little is um like difficult because have problem had problem in a leg is house to allow him to other people. And the doctor says to the mother, the Victoria's mother, you are uh, put her daughter in a children's home because for her leg.
Okay, correct. Thank you. Number 3. How do you imagine the ballet helped Philip to communicate better?
I think it's probably because he enjoyed the ballet. Because of that, he felt more comfortable talking with the people that also practice ballet besides him. And probably as he enjoyed ballet, he came to to relate with the people that practice with him.
Correct. Thank you. Number 4. How exactly did Adam's belt help save Adrian's life? Jose Luis' book is not in the class. Jose Luis 1, Jose Luis 2, Jose Luis is not in the class. Okay, well, let's watch a video. Remember that you can always participate via microphone or in the chat. There is no excuse for saying, oh, I couldn't participate because my microphone, no. If you connect, you have to be present. And the only way that I can verify that you are present is that you participate when I ask you. Otherwise, you are absent from my class, absent on my list. Okay, well, let's watch a video only to remind us about Alexis. Do you have anything to say?
Yes, I want answer the number 4.
Okay, please.
Yes, uh, Adrian's Adams solves like the Adrian's. He used his belt and tie it around her leg.
Correct. Okay, so let's watch that video. I'm going to copy the link in the chat in case you want to watch it individually.
From English. Tell me, have you ever wished that a situation from the past had been different? Maybe you wish that you'd behaved differently or wish that you'd said yes to something that you didn't. Of course you have. This is part of being human, isn't it? We all go through it. So I know that you are going to love today's lesson. Today, we are going to dive deep on some awesome grammar, the third conditional. Now, I hope you're not eye rolling on me. Yes, this is a grammar lesson, but it's an incredibly useful one to talk about our regrets and our disappointments. It sounds kind of grim, doesn't it? There are lots of useful ways to learn and practice with this grammar structure, and I don't know about you, but I'm excited to get started. Let's go. Now, you probably know that there are several types of conditional sentences in English. I've made lessons about many of them already. But like all conditional sentences, the third conditional has two clauses, the if clause and the main clause. But unlike the zero, the first, and the second conditionals, this one talks about the past, and specifically an unreal past, not a true past, an unreal one. We use the third conditional to imagine a situation in the past and the imaginary result, which is also in the past, okay? So it's imaginary, it's not real, it's not true, okay? Because we can't change the past. Sometimes we wish we could, but we can't. So that's why you'll often hear the third conditional being used to talk about regrets, things that we wish were different. So let's look at a few examples to get started. If I had left earlier, I wouldn't have missed my flight. So I'm a bit upset about that, right? I'm upset I missed my flight. I wish that I had have left my house a little bit earlier and not run late. I wish that I could go back in time and be on the plane, but I can't because my flight's gone. There's nothing that I can do about it now except buy another ticket. Well, we can use the third conditional to show how angry or how frustrated we are about this situation, right? Now look, if you hadn't been so rude, they would have invited you back. You were rude? Well, obviously that didn't work out well for you, did it? Now they're not going to invite you back again in the future. Don't. You can't go back and change it now, can you? Whether you want to or not. So I'm just going to use the third conditional now to tell you off.
Hi there, my name's Chris Americos, and I've been teaching English for the last 11 years, and right now,
If I hadn't been going so fast, I wouldn't have been fined. Yeah, I got fined, which is annoying, but it's already happened. I can't change it now, right? That's something you definitely can't change. So we use the third conditional to talk about things that we regret, things that we wish we change about the past, and also to tell someone off for something that they did in the past. So it's pretty useful, right? It's a really handy structure to have up your sleeve or to know. All right, so let's talk about what it looks like now. So to make the third conditional, we need a few things. We need if and the past perfect. Then we need a comma, and then we need the perfect conditional. You might be wondering, what the heck is the past perfect or the perfect conditional? So think about it this way. The past perfect is subject with had and the past participle verb. If I had left earlier, if you hadn't been so rude, if I hadn't been going so fast. Okay, these are all examples of the past perfect. Now, the perfect conditional is subject with would, have, and the past participle verb. So it's just the present perfect with would in front of it. I wouldn't have missed my flight. They would have invited you back. I wouldn't have got that ticket. So let's put the third conditional all together. We need if, the subject, had, and the past participle, then our comma, very important, followed by our subject, would, have, and the past participle. That's the third conditional. So let's look at some examples to help it sink in a little, all right? Let's do our third conditional checks first, all right? Are we talking about the past or the present here? It was in the past, but did it actually happen? No, you didn't call, so I didn't come. Wish that I could change this because I'd love to come. If she had replied to my message, I wouldn't have been so worried. So I'm kind of telling her off here, right? I'm a bit frustrated. Did she reply to my message? But was I worried? Yeah. I wish that she had so that I didn't have to worry, you know? If I had taken better care of myself, I wouldn't have got sick. So I'm expressing regret about the past here. I wish I'd taken better care of myself. Now, you'll remember from some of my other conditional lessons that we can actually use different modal verbs in the main clause. So we can replace would have with other modals like might and could. So we use might have to show probability or certainty. If she'd studied more, she might have passed. But she might have also failed again. We're not sure. We're not certain, right? If we were certain about that imaginary result in the past, then we would use would have. That's more certain. Since we're not exactly sure about what the result would have been, then using might have is probably the better option. Now we use could have to talk about possibility and ability. If you had lent me your car, I could have got there faster. Now, I'm not promising that I absolutely would have. I'm just saying that I would have been able to get there faster. You know, with a car, I would have the ability to arrive sooner. So now that we've broken it down a little bit, how are you feeling about the third conditional? Hopefully it was some good reminders from the other conditional lessons. And if you're thinking something along the lines of, if I'd seen this video earlier, I wouldn't have been so confused. Well, I must be doing something right. So now we're going to put everything we just learned into practice with a little mini quiz, my favorite. And I wonder if you're going to ace this little quiz or not. Let's see. Okay, for the quiz, I'm going to give you a few past situations and I want you to use the information that I'm sharing to write a sentence using the third conditional. Make sure you check the structure, make sure you're writing it accurately. So write your answers in the comment and I'll come down and check how you've done very soon. Oh, and make sure you think carefully about which modal verb is the right one to use. We'll go through the first one together, okay? So here's the situation. You had a job interview in the past, but you didn't prepare for it. You didn't get the job. And now you kind of regret not preparing for it. You wish that you prepared more. So what's our sentence that we can write here? If I had prepared more, then maybe the result would have been different. If I had prepared more, I might have got the job. So now it's your turn. I'm going to read out some of these situations. I want you to pause the video if you need to write your sentence. Think about the structure. Clearly try and get that third conditional sentence right. Here we go. Situation number 1. Your friend was in trouble. They needed help. You had the ability to help, but he never told you that he was in trouble.
Grammarly can help you write quickly and confidently, so you never have to slow down at work. Stay on top of emails.
Situation 2. You showed up at a dinner party empty-handed. Everyone else had brought a dish to the party. You wish that you had brought something, but you didn't know that you were supposed to. Situation 3. He was talking on the phone while driving.
What can you say in this situation? Anybody? Edwin?
I think is if he had told me, I would have helped him.
Very good. Israel?
If I had known, I would have helped you. Helped you.
Very good. Okay, situation 2.
Situation 2.
Situation 2.
You showed up
You
at a
showed
dinner
up
party
at a dinner party
empty-handed.
empty-handed.
Everyone else had
Everyone
brought a
else
dish to
had
the
brought a
party.
dish to the party.
You wish that you
You
had
wish
brought
that you
something,
had brought something,
but you didn't
but
know that you
you
were
didn't know
supposed
that you
to.
were supposed to.
Patricio?
Solo que se estaba
Teacher,
repitiendo como dos veces el audio, teacher.
there is echo. If you have your microphone.
But you can read the situation, please.
Yes, who?
Patricio?
Yes, teacher. Do I read the situation?
No, your answer.
Uh, Probably to buy something in a nearly store.
What? Ruben, can you say your sentence, please?
Yes, if I had known, I would have brought something.
Correct. Anybody else? Okay, let's listen to the next situation.
Situation 3. He was talking on the phone while driving. He got pulled over by the police. He got a huge fine. Now he regrets using his phone in the car.
Alexis?
Yes, if he hadn't used the phone while driving, he wouldn't have uh, gotten a huge fine.
Can you repeat, please?
If he hadn't used the phone while driving, he wouldn't have gotten a huge fine.
Very good.
Situation 4. Sarah went on a hike. She didn't bring a rain jacket. It started raining, and now Sarah's upset because she got really wet.
Edwin?
Yes. If Sarah had bring a rain jacket, she wouldn't have to no, wouldn't have gotten wet.
In the first part, you will have to use the past perfect. If Sarah had brought,
Okay.
right?
Had broke.
Brought, no broke, brought, the past of bring, the past participle.
Okay.
All right, good. Well, I think those are the points.
Awesome work, guys.
Awesome work,
I know
guys.
that
I know
conditionals can
that
be
conditionals
a
can
little
be a little
overwhelming.
overwhelming.
Okay, let's do an activity online about the conditional, the third conditional. Okay, in the exercise 1, we're going to choose the correct option. I copy the link because you don't see the options in my screen. I don't know why. Can you see the options or not?
Yes.
Because I can't. I mean, in the shared screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes? Okay. Well, number 1. If you had trained more, you
Wouldn't have lost so easily.
hmm. Number 2, we wouldn't have spent all the money if you
Hadn't insisted.
on going to that boutique. Number 3, Ruben.
If you had told me that you were having problems, I would help you.
Mm-mm.
I could help you. I
Could
could have
have.
helped you.
I had helped you.
No, I
Could have.
could have helped you. Remember that you can substitute would by could or might
Model.
or may. Any model in past.
Okay.
Okay, could have, might have, may have. Mhm. Number 4,
If
Paulo.
One moment, please. If I have known that she was in town, I would have called her.
Call her.
Called her.
Mhm. Number 5, Isaac.
Is there wool
5, no?
6 or 5?
5.
5 might have both.
Complete.
If she had of offered a better price for the car, I had bought it.
Mm-mm.
Sorry, might have bought.
Correct. Number 6, Kevin.
There wouldn't have been so many problems if they had organized the race a bit better.
Correct. Number 7, Fatima.
We wouldn't have got lost due to her husky population.
Correct. Number 8, Patricio.
Thank you, teacher. We will never have met if you wouldn't have introduced us to each other at the party.
Mm-mm. Remember that the condition is in past perfect only.
Hadn't introduced.
Correct. Number 9, Ruben. Ruben, and then Israel.
Yes. If she had embarrassed me in front of all my friends, I would have hated her forever.
Mhm. And finally, Josmar. Very good. 10 out of 10. Excellent. And in exercise 2, you have to choose one or two options, depending on the sentence. So for example, number 1, what can you choose? Let me see. Jose Uriel,
Yes, teacher.
your answer?
You would have seen.
Only?
Have seen me if you had gone to the party.
But you have to choose two options. Number 2, Pedro Jesus.
Number 2,
Yes.
what would you have done if I would come?
No.
Well, no.
No. What is the answer, guys? Correct. Number 3, Patricia.
A moment, teacher. They would have killed him if I hadn't given them the money.
Correct. Number 4, Israel.
If I had stayed in university, I could have got much better jobs.
Correct. Number 5, Ruben.
If I wouldn't have worked so hard all my life, I might have spent more time with my kids.
Can you repeat?
If I wouldn't have worked so hard all my life, I might have spent more time with my kids.
No.
Hadn't worked.
Exactly. Kevin?
The number 6.
Yes, please.
If I had been feeling well, I, number A, might have ordered, and number B could have ordered the stick.
Correct. Number 7. Pedro Jesus.
If I didn't know you were going, would have come with you.
Correct. Number 8. Jasmine. Even if I had stuff. Number 9. Paulo.
If I had told you the truth, you wouldn't have believed me.
And number 10. Isaac.
He would have had the accident if he hadn't drunk.
Okay, remember to pronounce the negatives clearly. He wouldn't have had the accident if he hadn't drunk. Okay? I'm
Okay.
exaggerating a little, but it's for you to pay attention that the negative must be heard.
Okay.
Okay, very good. You got again 100%. Excellent. Well, now we're going to practice in pairs. I'm going to share with you a set of questions. So you have to choose a partner to practice the questions, okay? Let me share them with you. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, well, in pairs. One of you is student A and the other is student B, and you have different questions, okay? So, contact your partner by Zoom or by WhatsApp in a video call, and you have to ask these questions. Remember that the answers must be complete. No? For example, if you had been born 100 years earlier, how would your life have been different? Well, if I had been born 100 years earlier, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to travel, no, because traveling by plane was not common. I don't think even existed. You had to travel only by boat or by road, so it was more difficult. Okay, that was one example for A, another example for B. If you had been born into a very rich family, how would your childhood have been different? Well, if I had been born into a very rich family, I may have visited Disneyland, for example. So contact your partner. You have 15 minutes to practice questions and answers. Okay? Is the activity clear? Yes?
Um, yes. And we have to write the answer in notebook or something like that.
No, it's only speaking, but be ready. You can take notes because then I'm going to ask some of you to participate with the questions and answers. Okay?
Teacher, record the speak.
No, it's only to practice. Okay?
Okay, okay.
But do it. Okay? Be honest with yourselves and do it. So right now, please contact your partner and start the activity. Patricia, do you have any questions?
Yes, teacher. We're wondering how can we say mudo, a, a person who cannot speak, who
Modo?
can mudo, somebody who
Ah,
cannot
mute?
speak. Is that the word?
Yes. Let me check if there is another, but
Yes.
uh, you can say deaf and mute. I heard that is deaf and
Deaf.
mute, but let me verify. As far as I know, he's mute, but let me check.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Patricio, what is the context of your word?
Uh,
Are you talking
we're
about a person who has the disability of speaking?
yes, yes, that's
Uh-huh.
right.
Okay, then the word is mute.
Okay.
M-U-T-E. All right?
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, what about the rest? Did you finish with the questions and answers? Okay, guys, you're going to do the activity for homework because the class is over. So write the answers in your notebook, okay? So you can include it in the evidences for this week. I am going to open the evidences for this week. Yes, but we don't have time to listen to you. You took longer than expected. So you have to write now your answers in the notebook, okay? I'm going to open the section in Edmodo today or tomorrow, and you have to finish with the rest of the pages in Unit 10, okay? In your books and include them. Remember to write your name on every page. Right now, I just want you to turn on your cameras because I'm going to take a screenshot for the attendance, okay? So please turn on your camera so I can take the screenshot and write your attendance on my list later.
Teacher, I do not have camera.
But you have a profile picture, no?
Yes, I
If
do.
you have a profile picture, it's okay. This is only for the ones that don't have. Kevin, I cannot see you. Francisco? Abner, I cannot see you.
Uh, Excuse me, teacher, my camera is not working, but I stay my camera turned on.
All right. Well, I took the screenshot. Thank you. Okay, guys. Well, very good participation for today. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy the weather. And I will see you next class.
I see you, teacher.
Teacher.
Yes.